if I didn't already have one, I would be picking up a second of this bottle for sure, but I'm gonna leave it on the shelves for all of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at stop number 1. We are at Super Buy Rite Wine and Liquors here in Hamilton, New Jersey. I've been at this stop maybe once or twice. It's a decent sized store inside. Let's go see what they've got inside. We've got a bunch of new releases dropping here. So hopefully they've got something fun. So let's go see what they've got. All right, so we are inside the Buy Rite. Let's see what we've got inside on these shelves here. Nice long wall here full of bourbon. Let's see what we got on the shelves. Starting over here on the right, looking at some Stranahan's, a little single malt whiskey action, the Westford single malt, single barrel select. What is this? We are looking at barrel number 151, bottle 93. This comes in at 125 proof. Westford American single malt, single barrel. Rocktown single barrel cask strength at 64. Nashville Barrel Company. You don't see these a lot in Jersey. It's a 5-year-old at 119.22 proof. Chicken cock stuff. Woodenville 100 proof bottle. Move back down over here. What are we looking at? We're looking at some Sagamore stuff. Cask strength at 123 proof. Double oak. You guys know how much I love that one. And the regular small batch. Hill Rock bottle, 5-year-old double cask bourbon, $75 at 100 proof, bottled in bond. Lone Elm. This is Texas whiskey. I don't know much about this. We're looking at 112.8 proof. Distilled from grain in Forney, Texas. Pretty cool. Red tag clearance at 5101. Jimmy Red stuff. Always like to see these labels here. I wonder if this is also part of their stuff. New Southern Revival Rye Whiskey, Tawny Port Barrel, and then a Abruzzi Rye, distilled with pride by so it's high wire distillery. Obviously, you can tell by the paper on top, duh. But this uses a Abruzzi Rye. Never heard of that before. Few Smashing Pumpkins release, $37.99. Eric Grand stuff. What is this? Paparaki Single Barrel, 80 proof Polish whiskey. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Never heard of Polish whiskey before. Hudson whiskey stuff. Bardstown Origins. And then also the Garden State pick number 2 at $90. I've had a sample of the Garden State Park or Garden State pick. Pretty darn good juice. Got some Milam and Green stuff down here. Bunch of stuff. This is cool because they do some aged in Texas, some aged in Green River or Bardstown, so you get a nice little mix of stuff. Four Roses, Green River stuff here. Great Jones, they put on an amazing tour in New York. Really cool spot. Castle and Key stuff. Wheel Horse, Michter's. Getting in the High West stuff here. We've got the Bottled in Bond, the Midwinter's Night Dram, the Single Barrel Cask Selection, Campfire, the Bottled in Bond, Double Rye, the Bourbon. Starting to see a lot more High West sitting on the shelves here, which is nice, but it's also, people need to be picking it up because it's some good stuff. Top back over here, we've got some Corner Creek Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey. What is this? Well, this is a 10-year, 100 proof, distilled, aged, and bottled in Kentucky, bottled by Corner Creek Distillery Company, Crestwood, Kentucky. It's a pretty bottle. I like the design of this. Interesting. Never heard of this. 10-year-old, 100 proof, $100. Last bottle on the shelf for anybody interested in that. Peg Leg Porker. The 8-year and then a 12-year at 93 proof, $120. A couple bottles left of that. Wyoming Whiskey Company, 5-year, $70. HK Young Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Toasted Barrel Blend at 115 proof. Starlight stuff, 2XO, Nelson Bros, 91, Toasted Peerless Bourbon, a great bottle there, $90, that's a great price. And then you got the Double Oak at 115 for the rye, and the High Rye Bourbon at 130. all the Heaven Hill graded glass bottles, 95 bucks. And then this is Heaven Hill bottled and bond, but they're doing a new label design. Each label is a little bit different on some of the bottles. Got barrel whiskey private releases. Then you got the American vatted malt. It's an old release. That's from 2021. Down over here, we're looking at the Blue Note Honey Rye. This is 100% the best bottle that you can get for the price. If I didn't already have one, I would be picking up a second of this bottle for sure, but I'm going to leave it on the shelves for all of you. Blue Note Juke Joint, single barrel pick, comes in at 118.5 proof, 52 bucks. Can't go wrong. One of the best bang for your bucks for sure. Then you got the regular Blue Note Rye. We're looking at the Garrison Bros small batch. RD1, what is this? Japanese Mizunara and French Oak for 70 bucks. Elijah Craig stuff down here, the Toasted for 60, great price. The Rise, regular small batch. Travelers, Maker's Mark stuff, Woodford Reserve, just your traditional bottles here. And we've got all of our Redwood Empire stuff. Red tag clearance on the Rocket Top for 73. You don't see that for that price ever. And you've got the other stuff here from Redwood Empire, a bunch of Pinhook bottles. Heaven's Door stuff, not the biggest fan of it, but hey, it's out there for a reason, right? Then I look up here, got Angel's Envy. We got the Rite Selection 102 proof single barrel, Rye, bottled and bond, Field and Sound whiskey, bottled and bond, straight bourbon, and then straight wheated bourbon for under 50 bucks. Got Smoke Wagon stuff, straight rye, Smoke Wagon malted straight rye for $62. That's a great price. Moving on over here, we got the Penelope, $85 for the American whiskey, the cigar session. The Buck Cancer Penelope, Architect, Barrel Strength, Rosé Cast Finish, Weeded, Toasted, and then that old label looks really nice. And then the Booker's 2502. Cream of Kentucky. What is this? Pigeon River. What is this? 96 proof. This is a single barrel Tennessee sour mash whiskey, crafted small batch with produced and bottled by the Covered Bridges Whiskey Company, Columbia, Tennessee. I like the label. And then right around here on the end cap, we have all of their single barrels. So let's see what they've got to offer here. Already saw it there. We've got the single barrel Angel's Envy. And what is this one? The Sherry Cask Finish. So 150 bucks for that one, 90 for this one. We've got an Old Scout pick for $42. The Westward Old Forester. What are we looking at here for this one? $95. We're looking at Warehouse G Floor 7, 129.1 proof. Next up, we've got the Lee W. Sinclair Barrel Series, 4.5 years old, 116.5 proof. Pretty cool. Distilled and bottled by Spirits of French Lick, West Baden Springs, Indiana. If anybody's ever had this, let me know. We have a couple of the rare character stuff. We have one finished Jamaican rums for $90. This is a 6-year, 7-month, 120.54 proof. And then for 120 bucks, you get a really nice bottle of 10-year, 6-month, 133.76 proof. Really cool label on that one too. We've got the Clover Barrel Strength stuff, Tennessee Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Hirsch, the Rocktown Laws, George Remus, Restoration Rye. We got a Hill Rock pick for 110. I think these are some tequilas. That Blue Note pick I was talking about earlier. Clyde Mays stuff. Starlight. What is this barrel bourbon one here? Let's see. This is the Rite Selection. A blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. 50% 5-year, 35% 7, 10% 10, and 5% 17-year. Blend number D22I. 116.86 proof. Distilled in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. Really great selection here. Let's see if there's anything that I want to pick up, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Little did I know, they also have a glass case, so let's see what's inside this bad boy here. We are looking at the Elliott Bros for 160, Generations for 600. Not a bad price. I've seen it for way higher. Got all the little books here. I don't know if you guys can see through the glare here, but trying to do my best here for you. Kentucky Owl 11-year rye for 200. We've got the batch 12 for 300. Some more Kentucky Owls over here. The Blue Note cask finish series for 219. Woodford Reserve stuff here. Jefferson's Elijah Craig 18 for 200. Moving on over here. Knob Creek stuff. We've got the 15-year for 125. You don't see the 15-year ever. 18-year. Augusta Buckner stuff. What barrel on the 15-year are we looking at here? Barrel number 57. 128.9 proof. 325. It's a decent price. We've got the Wolves bottle. We've got some Joseph Magnus in there for 199. Frank August. Calumet Farm 16. Foursquare. Convocation, and then some Orphan Barrel stuff as well. So none of the newest releases here. I do know that they do a raffle for a lot of those bottles. So if you guys are in the area, they definitely do a raffle. So get in here and get in on those raffles because they do release a lot of those bottles for that raffle. All in all, an absolute incredible selection inside that buy right. Like I said, I had been in there once or twice, maybe a year and a half ago or so. This is a little bit of a drive for me, but nonetheless, great selection. Shelves were full. Didn't pick anything up, but hopefully the next stop we can possibly find something for our own shelves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at stop number 2. We are at Joe Canals Discount Liquor Outlet here near Princeton, New Jersey. I can't quite remember the exact area we are. We've been at this store before, maybe 2 years ago. New ownership has taken over, and word has it that prices are a little crazy. So let's go run inside and see what we're looking at. All right, so starting off inside of here, we've got the Hill Rock single malt whiskey. We're looking at Pools Hill 2017 Harvest at 48.2%. Next out, we got the George Dickel 15-year at $70. Some Bernheim stuff, barrel-proof bottle, the Foggy Bureau Redwood Empire. What is this? Bourbon Cask, American Single Malt, Courage and Conviction Virginia Distilling. Interesting. Westland stuff, Yellowstone, Michter's, Woodford, Jack Daniels. This is the McLaren bottle. Such a cool bottle. Just regular old number 7 here though, nothing crazy. It's a little higher proof though, 86 proof instead of 80. Jack Daniels bonded, the triple mash, single barrel at 136.4 proof for $60, a good price. Glass case here. Let's see what we can see inside here. Anything fun? Some Seagrass, Frank August stuff, Whistle Pig 10-year, Whistle Pig 15, Knob Creek 18. What's in the back over there? Whistle Pig 21, the Beholden, the Boss Hog, some blends here. We've got the brand new Masters Keep Beacon, the Triumph. What are we looking at? So we're at $330 for those bottles there. Interesting. Very interesting. Rabbit Hole, Garrison Bros, 15 stars. George Dickel, 17. Some very old St. Nick's. Angel's Envy Cast Strength. Cellar Collection, the 2025. Little Book, the 2025 release. Some old Carters here, the American whiskey. This is a batch 15. 134.2 proof at $300. And down over here, looking at something interesting. I don't know what this is. Puerto Rican rum. Okay, not our jam there. Got Angel's Envy single barrel here. Bourbon Club, 110 proof. And then really big wall here. Nothing but bourbon all the way down here. So let's see what we can find. Anything interesting. Got 1792s, small batch bottles, Breckenridge stuff. Look at that 1792 stuff, a couple of their different bottles, the Breckenridge, a big boy of the Breckenridge, a bunch of their different finishes, Frank August, Booker's bottles, 02 and 01, Heaven Hill, Granite Glass stuff, 2XO, Horse Soldier stuff. We haven't seen that in quite a while. Got their just regular straight bourbon, their barrel strength, and then their small batch as well. Widow Jane Decadence. What batch are we on? Batch 31, $98, good price. We got the Baby Jane Heirloom. Down over here, some more High West offerings. Midwinter's Night Dram. We've got Act 12 and Act 13 for $170. Bottled and Bond for $73. Angel's Envy stuff. And then this is where we see Four Roses bottles, OBSK, OESK, OASO, and OBSF, all four of them for $50. Four Roses offerings as well. Here, some more Elijah Craig stuff. The Barrel Proof C924 for $74. Good price there for sure. Bullet offerings, Bullet 10-year, the Bullet Single Malt, Barrel Strength. Worst stuff right here that you could ever buy. Basil Hayden, don't ever do it, please. Woodford Reserve. We've got their Madeira cask finish as well as their 121.2 proof barrel strength stuff. Bardstown, what is this? Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 90 proof, distilled and bottled by Willett Distillery. I've never seen that bottle before, but it's pretty. I like that bottle. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Tin cup here. Benchmark stuff. Old Grandad 114. I do need to get another bottle of that. I'm running a little bit low. Pinhook offerings. Asbury Park Distillery. The local Jersey spot there. Some Bird Gang stuff. Yellowstone. Looking at the 2024 release here. This was, where am I looking at? 101 proof on this bottle here. Nothing too crazy about this one. I don't know. Finishing cognac and brandy. Puncher's Chance. Redemption. Some Wheel Horse. Move into some of the ryes over here. A big empty spot here. I wonder what goes here. We got some Redwood Empire. Mackenzie Empire Rye. This one is coming in at 80% rye, 20% malted barley, so it's a lower rye, high rye, if that makes any sense. This is a 91 proof. The Milam and Green Rye, straight rye whiskey finished in port wine casks. High West stuff, Woodford, Russell's single barrel rye, and then the 6-year, and Fenwick's New Salem straight rye whiskey. Barrel number 1.15, 96 proof on that bottle. Wild Turkey Rye, rare breed. This comes in, if anybody doesn't know, 112.2 proof. It's really good whiskey, really, really good. And we're looking at the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye, the Bonded Rye, some Elijah Craig, the Toasted Rye, Piggyback stuff, Michter's. Interesting bottle. Got a really interesting looking bottle here. I've never seen this one before. This is Minor Case Straight Rye Whiskey, 90 proof, Limestone Branch Distillery. Okay, all right, cool. Limestone Branch, not my cup of tea, but nonetheless, we've got some more bottles up here. A Green River Rye, Bacta Straight Rye, Willits, Bardstown, Hemingway Rye. This is 90%. Indiana 95.5 and 10% Kentucky 95.5 at 102 proof. Old Elk, some Templeton 10-year rye. And then you've got the New Riff stuff, 8-year rye. Penelope Toasted, Pinhook, Nashville Barrel Company, small batch at 61.94. This is a 7-year cask strength at 111.98 proof. This is distilled in Indiana, so this is the most likely MGP stuff. This was, yeah, very nice. All right. One last one that caught my eye here, this Rough Rider, the Big Stick Rye Whiskey, cask strength, batch number 26, 121 proof. Distilled and bottled at Long Island Spirits. Does it have an age on it, though? Not seeing an age on here. Interesting stuff there. Anything on these shelves that you would pick up, let me know down in the comments. We're looking at, I'm not seeing anything that I specifically would want to pick up. Nothing different, nothing new, nothing that screams, get me today. I do like, though, this right here. We've got the Maker's Mark cask strength. They've got the age statements on them now. 7 years, 2 months, 112.6 proof. This just says limited bottling. I'm not quite sure what that means. Matured for notes of toasted oak, salted caramel, and dark chocolate. Sounds delicious. But I already have so much Maker's Mark, I don't know if I need to pick up another one. You know what I mean by that? But hey, it is what it is. Let's see if there's anything that I want to pick up, and I'll see you guys inside the truck. So the prices weren't as bad as I was expecting them to be. I hadn't been in this store since ownership had changed. Obviously, some of the prices were a little bit high. The only bad thing that happened here is when ownership changed, they did get rid of all of the current employees, which a lot of people were not happy about. But it's been a little bit of time since that happened. I wanted to step in and see what their offerings were. So nothing too crazy. Prices were a little high on some bottles, but we're going to stop at one more spot. We've got a Wegmans right down the road that we're going to swing over by. Wegmans usually has some really nice single barrel selection. So let's go see what they've got, if there's anything new. I haven't been in a Wegmans liquor store in probably over a year. So let's go see what they've got. All right, so we're outside of Wegmans. Let's go run inside and see if they've got any fun store picks. Usually they got like 7 or 8 different picks, so let's go see what they've got. Well, that was probably the lamest Wegmans I had ever been in. I didn't think it was at all worth it recording, so we were able to stop at 2 different stores. One store that buy Rite, absolute great selection, really nice store picks. The Joe Canals, decent prices. Some were a little bit high in my personal opinion, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so I know I said that this video is done, but we had to stop at Adelfias because when I was down in Kentucky to do the Eagle Rare pick that the Patreons are in on to get a couple of bottles of, we also did a couple of Dark Arts picks. And well, they finally came in and I had to pick them up. I had to get one for each for myself. We did an 8-year straight bourbon whiskey finish in Madeira wine cask bottled at 113.68 proof. That's this bottle right here. Absolute delicious. The finish on this bottle is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to crack this open and see what it reminds me of, because when we dove into that bottle, that was a unanimous #1. Now, the #2 bottle that we did was, when we did the consensus, I think that this won out by 1 vote over top of the other bottle. This is a straight bourbon whiskey finished in Tokai wine casks, comes in at 113.82 proof, and is 8.5 years old. So that's this bottle right here. Had to pick both of them up. These are for the Central Jersey Bourbon Society. So if you're in the Central Jersey bourbon scene, if you're not in the Facebook group, make sure you guys check that Facebook link out. Join in on the society and get in on these awesome picks. I'm part of some of the picks, not all of them, but if you want some of my input on some incredible picks, the Dark Arts are definitely great. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Had to stop and get those bottles before we finish this video out. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Until next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.